Hello guys, this is Doronsmovies, and yeah, I'm aware that this is a bit of an old topic, but you know, it's still kind of relevant, and nothing has really been done about it by Blizzard or by, well, anyone, except complaining, and also I got a few requests, so I thought I'd share my thoughts on this controversial topic. So, if you don't know what I'm talking about, or you just can't tell from the title, I'm just gonna give you a short summary. So, for starters, pretty much this is what happened. So, if you didn't know, in 2013 on BlizzCon, Blizzard announced that we will be getting two capital cities, like two faction hubs, which would essentially be just, yeah, as I said, faction hubs, you know, with portals, auction houses and everything, sort of like Dalaran, so just a faction hub. Now, the Alliance was supposed to get Kerabor, which, if you didn't know, is very important lore-wise, and it's essentially just Black Temple before it got destroyed, so it's this like beautiful city, Draenor city, and the Horde was supposed to get Bladespire Fortress, which was pretty much, I don't think it has any special like lore relevance to it, but it's pretty much just this ogre city that you retake, like you take with Duratan and Droll in the questline, in the Frostfire Ridge, you know, with the Frostwolf clan, and pretty much the Frostwolf clan kind of, you know, settles there. So that was supposed to be like this faction hub, and you know, the Alliance was supposed to get Kerabor. So that, you know, as the original plan didn't really work, as Blizzard not so long ago, a few weeks ago, they announced that they're transferring the hubs to Ashran, even though they said, like, now they're saying like they never planned it, even though they said on BlizzCon. But then the thing is, like, when the stuff they say on BlizzCon doesn't mean that it will actually be in the game. It's kind of just their progress on what they're working on. But I mean, if they do write it on like a presentation, it usually means that it should be it. It's not like a small feature. I know in like Wrath of the Lich King, they said like they will be adding this dance studio, even though they didn't add it, but that's a small feature. No one really, I mean, few people care, but it's not really important, while this is like huge. This is like the major part of the expansion. So I mean, if you're like going to put a major part of the expansion on a presentation, you better just do it. You know, not just show some and then change it afterwards. But pretty much they said that they will be transferring it to Ashran. And if you don't know what Ashran is, I will actually put a map on the screen so you can see. But it's essentially just this tiny remote little island on the right side of Draenor. And that isn't even a part of the main continent of Draenor. I mean, when you look at a map, it looks so small on the map. I mean, it's even smaller than these two cities like Kerabor and Bladespire Fortress drawn in, because when they're drawn in on the map, as you can see from the big map, it looks a lot bigger than Ashran. Now, there is entire outrage about it, and everyone is pretty much talking about it, sending death threats to Blizzard, and even Blizzard just don't do that. Like, that's just a bit too much. I mean, yes, it's an important issue, but it's not that important. I mean, it's still just a game. There's really no need to do that. But the major problem is not that they're only just trying to force world PvP on us, but they're also, like, problem for me is that they're kind of disconnecting the world. Now, it's like they're planning, like, Warlords of Draenor is supposed to be something different. I mean, it's not supposed to be as any other expansion, and they're trying to add this immersion to the game. It, like, these RPG elements, you know, these secrets, and everything pretty much they're trying to add. And now they're kind of doing something different from that. I mean, they disabled flying mounts. Maybe they will be disabled for the entire expansion. We're probably gonna see that. But I mean, still, like, they're trying something different. And honestly, I like it. When I tried it in alpha, it was really cool. I mean, it's something different. It's not like your regular expansion. Like, a lot of people say Cataclysm failed, Mists of Pandaria failed. The thing is, those expansions were kind of similar. But this expansion really has something. I mean, it has something new, like something unique. And now they're kind of, you know, doing something controversial, I guess. They're doing something different from that. I mean, they're trying to add immersion, but in the other way, they're disconnecting it. And the thing is, one of the problems I can see is that these faction hubs would actually be in the starting zones. Now, if you don't know, Shadowmoon Valley is the starting zone for the Alliance, and Frostfire Ridge is the starting zone for the Horde. Now, the thing is that a lot of people would probably be in those zones when they start. And if you have like a major faction hub in that zone, that means that the entire horde from the server will be there. So that could be an issue, like people could gank or not just gank, but just, you know, kill some mobs, and just a lot of people will be in the starting zones, and you don't really want that. But it's still, I mean, they could somehow work it out. It's not really that big of an issue. But the problem is that they're adding, like, they're pretty much adding everything to Ashran, which really doesn't have any important, you know, lore, or isn't even really relevant. I mean, you look at it, they posted a few screenshots, I will add it in the video, but the thing is, it just looks, honestly, in my opinion, it just kind of looks bad. I mean, I like the lighting and the style, and like the style. I always like the Warcraft style, but it just looks like the plain Alliance style and the Horde. It's pretty much that domination point from everything, pretty much from Crescent Wilds that was in Mists of Pandaria 5.2. Pretty much just looks like that, and that really sucks. Because if you haven't seen Karabor and played Spar Forge, it's just something new. I mean, Karabor has like significant lore value, and it just looks amazing. It's like this new architecture that we haven't really seen. I mean, we've seen Draenor architecture, but this is like before, like when they were like this big empire, well, civilization, when they were actually in power and not just these refugees. So you could see how amazing that looks. And also, like, ogre fortresses. I mean, the only ogre fortresses we've seen were the ones in Outland, maybe a few camps in Azeroth, but those are just like these stone things, like stone camps, like pretty much tents. But this is like this entire fortress, and it just looks amazing when you look at it. There's like a distance and everything, so it's kind of neat. And they're adding this Ashran architecture, which honestly, in my opinion, it just, as I said, looks like just plain Alliance style. You have like these watchtowers. You have like this, pretty much it's like rock and wood. It's just like medieval, and any sort of medieval style, just with like a WoW touch, you know, just that Warcraft style touch. And essentially it also looks like the garrison. If you haven't seen the garrison, it pretty much has the same feel. And what they said, actually, I believe Lore posted yeah, he posted like this thread, like this big thread, like he was trying to explain everything. Even though he didn't really explain it, just pissed people off even more. But he kind of tried to explain it lore-wise, which didn't really work. As he's saying that we're actually helping out like the Frostwolves and the Draenei. It's not like we're helping them, it's that they're helping us. Which is kind of a bit weird. If you didn't know, pretty much we're kind of cut off from Azeroth. And right now they're like helping us, even though the initial like questline for the Alliance and the Horde, Shadowmoon Valley and Frostfire Ridge, pretty much the entire questline is just us helping the Draenei and the Frostwolves. That'll probably change, you know, once they set up, you know, settle, and they're kind of have like this ground. They'll probably be helping us, but still, I mean, we're going to like this Azeroth, this Draenor before, and there's going to be like, they're pretty much in the middle of a huge war, the Iron Horde and the Draenei. So I don't really see how we're so significant in it. We're just kind of taking part in it, which is kind of, it's pretty much the epic part of the expansion, because this is like this major lore event that you just been described in books and everything, and now we'll actually be able to go there and be a part of it. But I mean, we can't just like change this entire story and have like the Draenei and the Iron Horde, pretty much the Draenei helping us and the Frostwolves while we're fighting the Iron Horde. It's kind of like, it's a bit corny, honestly. I mean, it's not really that great. Hopefully, like, they will fix that, like, they will maybe add in other zones something mixed between that, but essentially, we should be the ones, you know, just being a part of it and not being, like, the major part, you know. We're just having a minor role in the entire conflict. Now, personally, I don't really care. I mean, I know I'm kind of in a minority here. I don't really care where the major city will be, because a lot of people, for example, in World of Warcraft, when they're bored, they just hang around in the garrison. Pretty much, I can already tell you what they'll be doing. They'll pretty much be going to your garrison. Pretty much everyone will be going to their garrison. Then they'll be going to Ashran. Then they'll be waiting in a queue for either raids or dungeons or battlegrounds. Then back to garrison, then back to Ashran. And they're pretty much just disconnecting the entire world. That they're trying to add like this immersion and everything, like these ground mounts. It kind of sucks, honestly. But as I said, I personally don't care, because I don't really do that. I mean, when I'm bored with World of Warcraft, I just don't play it. I mean, I log in a few times, you know, do some farming and everything. And usually I explore all the zones. I usually hang around in other zones, like either recording or doing some quests, like catching up on some stuff. Honestly, I don't really care to just stay in one city and just log in, log out, and queue. But a lot of people will do that, and that will kind of kill those zones that they're working on, which is the major problem. I mean, they're trying to add all this immersion and all these elements and everything, and now they're trying to kill it with that. I mean, then what's the point of even having ground mounts if no one is even going to be in those zones? I mean, once you level, pretty much you go to Frostfire Ridge. After that, I believe Goreground. Then you have other zones. I'm not sure how they will place everything, like how what each level will be, but right now it's Frostfire Ridge 90 to 92, Goreground I'm guessing to 94, 95, then probably Spires of Iraq or Teledor, then Spires of Iraq, maybe Tanan Jungle, like the other part from the portal. But other than that, I mean, once you level in those zones, why would you even want to return there? I mean, you have like Bladespire Fortress, but what's the point? I mean, you finished all the quests, you did pretty much everything there is, and now why would you even want to go into those zones when you could just go to Ashran, have all the portals, the auction house, and everything else? So that is kind of a major problem, and that is what is bothering me personally, because I personally don't care too much about it, but it's kind of going to ruin World of Warcraft, and I really have high hopes for Warlords of Draenor, and I feel like they will make it worse if they do this, honestly. Now, there is also the problem of authority, I guess. Now, if you didn't know, everyone is complaining about it. Everyone is telling Blizzard to change it. That people are making threads, videos. I mean, I'm just making a video about this right now, and there's people like sending death threats, which kind of sucks. But I mean, the problem is, if players can just say that, I mean, Blizzard kind of sees that as a bit of a breach of authority, if you can say that. I mean, if people just tell them what to do, then if people like complain, they change it. It's kind of bad for the reputation. I still believe it can be good for the reputation of them. I mean, they should listen to the feedback. Usually, Blizzard gets a lot of feedback. A lot of people just plain make up stuff. They don't even know anything about game development or how everything works, and they come up with these crazy ideas that they should add. And I do understand them. I mean, they have to filter through it, and you can't really please everyone. You have like 8 million people playing the game, and you have to please like everyone. It's not even possible. Like, people do PvP, people roleplay, people do PvE, people just, I don't know, whatever they do, but not everyone has the same like opinions, and that kind of sucks. But right now, I really don't see, I believe like 99.99% of people is just saying to change it, to reverse to what it was before, Bladespire Fortress and Kerabor. So I really don't see why they won't do that. I mean, it won't really be bad. If they do it, I honestly believe people will see them as kind of a more friendly company, you know, not like this faceless corporation, but more like a company that actually cares about the players. So I really don't see why they wouldn't do it, and hopefully they will change it. If people complain enough, you know, not to like a huge extent, but if people make enough threads, have their own opinions, hopefully they will change it one day. And I believe honestly it will be a lot better for the expansion, and it will just make Draenor a lot more epic than it already is, because they have a lot of potential right now, and I don't really see why they want to do it. Alright, that is all I have for now for this discussion. It was a bit late, honestly, but I just wanted to share my thoughts on it. And do give me some feedback on what you would like to see, and also what you think about this whole topic. And if you would like to see everything changed, or if you want the house to stay in Ashland, which I'm guessing not a lot of people want. So anyways, thanks so much for taking your time to watch this video, and I hope you had enjoyed. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. See you next time.